I remember that was at one point that I was gonna call my dad and tell him like I want to go home. I don't like I can't do it anymore. And like that's the moment when God like was just like, trust me, bro, you're gonna be okay. So like I talked with him the whole night. It was just hard. Like, I didn't sleep that night, I think, because I did kind of make up my mind to go home. Nobody know about this
Mm.
because that was just me personally. But then like when I wake up the other day, I just wake up so happy. So I was like, he just give me more strength, new strengths, and like I didn't think about that. Like after that, and I just went off.
What's going on today? I'm the host, SchuZ, and joining me today is the first Division I player from Nicaragua, the 2022 Sun Belt Player of the Year, two-time All-Sun Belt First Team selection, the 2021 Sun Belt Freshman of the Year, the 2022 Sun Belt Defensive Player of the Year, a member of the Nicaragua National Team, and the newest member of the Miami Hurricanes, Norchad Omier. Norchad, I appreciate you taking time to come on today, man.
No, thank you, man. I appreciate you having me out here. I love doing stuff like this. Let's get it.
Without a doubt, man. Well, before we get into your story and how you become the player that you are today, let's start off with the biggest thing right now going on in your life. You're committed. You're going to Miami now, a place that you're already a little familiar with. And on top of that, you also got a nice NIL deal too. But what's just going through your mind now that everything's figured out? You have your plan set for next year. How does it feel?
No, man, it's really exciting,
Mm-hmm.
going through all of this, the recruiting process. I'm just really thankful with all the schools that recruit me that I get to experience this stuff. And like how you say, I'm part of the U now. Like it's just really exciting. Looking forward to the season to start. You know what most I'm looking forward to is like to just develop. It's a next conference is totally different. Like a lot of pros in it. So like I'm just looking forward to learn more. Go to Miami, learn from Coach L, learn from my teammates, like just become a better player. I'm just excited to learn.
Absolutely, man. Well, we're going to get a lot of Miami to wrap this up, but I want Miami fans and the country in general to get to know you and how you've become the player that you are today, because obviously you have a unique story to get to the player that you are. So if we head back, you're originally born out there, Bluefields, Nicaragua, I believe. So what was it like growing up out there?
So it's just totally different, man. Like back home, like I tell this to everybody, our culture, like in Nicaragua, everybody speaks Spanish, but where I live,
Mm-hmm.
we speak Creole. It's like English. People say it's broken English because we have a different type of slang.
Mm.
So it's like just a little different. We compare it a lot to Caribbean culture. So like Jamaicans, people from the Bahamas, like we compare it a lot like that. So like growing up, I play straight baseball from I have memory. Like that's
Mm.
my dad's favorite sport. He wanted me to become a pro in baseball. So since I know he has worked me out, we practice and I fall in love with baseball. So I play. Also, when I grew up in high school, I run track. I play volleyball. I play soccer. I play handball. I would play ping pong for fun. And man, basketball was the last sport that I started playing. I just fall in love with it.
I read a story about you in terms of baseball that I think you're at the age of 16. You were able to throw the ball 95 miles per hour at that age. It's not a thing that's too common for a lot of people. So is that true? Was it 95 miles per hour at that young of an age?
That's a lot. It was 95. If I throw 95 at 16, I would not be playing basketball. So I remember when I was 15 years old, the fastest ball I throw was 83.
Mm.
Like it was pretty good too, but like 95 is just another level. You know what I
Mm.
mean? That was pretty good. I was a pitcher. I mean, I think if I keep playing baseball, I probably could have been able to sign and go pro. But
Mm.
then I wouldn't be able to experience all of this, man. It's just different. I'm thankful to God for it.
So what brought you to basketball then? Why all of a sudden did you say, I want basketball? Because as we talked about, basketball is not a very dominant sport at all there. There's not many people. Like I said, you're the first Division I player ever to come out of there. So how did you even get the ball put in your hands then?
It's a funny story. So I remember one day I was, I don't know, 12 years old, 13. I'm really not sure. So I'm
Mhm.
playing baseball, and it's not even a baseball field. It's like a little piece of land
Mhm.
that me and everybody in the neighborhood will just go and like play handball. Like we call it handball, but it's not the same handball from Europe. Like we will get a tennis ball and hit it with our hand. So we
Mhm.
playing that game in the neighborhood. So I see one taxi car pull up. I just park there and watch the guy just sit and watch us play during the whole game. So when the game was over, like I'm walking home and this guy stopped me. He's like, "Hi." He introduced himself to me. He was like, "I'm the basketball coach for the Bluefields Academy. Like,
Mhm.
I'm see you are a pretty tall guy. Would you like to play with us?" And I was like, "Give me a minute. Let me go ask my parents." So I went, I asked my dad. He went to introduce himself to my dad. And that's when I started practicing basketball. They were going to a tournament in the capital to play, like every department from Nicaragua was gonna go there to play. So
Mhm.
and they was missing one player. So all I remember, all I did when I went to that tournament was rebound the ball and give it to who know to play. That's all I didn't. I didn't know to do anything. I just rebound and give it to whoever know to play. That's how I start playing.
I believe you were only 13 when you first started playing, right?
Yes.
So that's a huge jump because right now that's only been what 3, 4 years or 6, 7 years since that time span.
Yeah.
Having seen the amount of growth you've taken so far and the position that you are at today, is that surprising to you? Is that shocking to you at all?
Yeah. I mean, if I go about 5 years ago, like not even when I start playing basketball, I would never imagine that I would be at this point. I mean,
Mhm.
I wanted to become good at something, and I always my whole life I believe it was going to be baseball. But like going back 5 years ago, I would have never imagined I would be here at this point of my life.
Now let's go a little bit deeper in some of those other sports. So baseball, as you said, you were still playing for quite a while. When did you finally give up on that sport? When did you finally say, basketball is the sport I'm going to pursue full force? That's the thing I'm going to try going with. When did you make that decision?
I think that was like when I was 16 years old. So my dad was like, he's like, you can't keep playing every sport. You are getting old. Like I know you like playing sports, but like you got to decide. Like you don't got to do whatever I say. There's two sports I see that you are very good at and that you like playing, and it's baseball and basketball. And he tell me that you got to decide between baseball or basketball. And I think I was gonna broke his heart when I was gonna say basketball because I know he really loved baseball. But
Mhm.
I was just like, I gotta go for basketball. That's when I really focused on basketball and start like put my full effort on it when I was 16 years old.
Has your dad started to fall in love with a little bit with basketball now, or is he still all in on baseball?
He's still in love with baseball, but I mean, I'm his son, so he
Mhm.
got to support me.
But that's kind of the unique thing too, because in all honesty, I don't blame them because you look at that, there's not many guys you should look up to. You don't have the NBA guys to go out and watch the poor in basketball. It's not something that's really heavily present out there. How much have you seen basketball grow, if any, from the time you started playing to today? Has there been a jump where more kids are trying to play basketball now out there?
Yeah, I mean, home is different. Now, when I go back home,
Mhm.
like just my mentor, sometimes Mr. Wesley, my dad, they just when I talk with them on the phone, they be like, this kid like just walk up to me and tell me to say hi to you. This kid tell me he want to be like you. It's just like it feels good. I love it. And
Mhm.
it's a weight on my back to like do the right stuff, like
Yeah.
to show the kids the right way what to do. And like because I mean, for me it was just a dream at the beginning and it become true. So I just want them to dream and like work hard because I know they can do it also.
That is something that's unique too, because you talk about someone like Luka Doncic, obviously, who's a huge, big image now out there in Slovenia. And you talk about all the different guys from different countries, obviously, Giannis from Greece. Those guys are on the NBA stage, some of the best players in the world. But you are basically, in a way, similar to them in the aspect where you are the biggest and the best player to ever come from that place. Has it put any weight on your shoulder? Is it kind of like pressure on yourself at all? Or how are you taking that in now, knowing that you have so many people looking up to you and wanting to be like you now?
I mean, it's a lot to process. So the way I do it, I try to don't think about it.
Mhm.
Because if I think about it, it's just I think it's gonna overwhelm me, gonna make me really worry. So I just don't think about it. I try to take it with ease. Like my mom and my dad helped me to keep my feet on the floor, don't feel better than no one. I'm
Mhm.
the same like everyone. So Like my family helped me a lot with that, and I just don't try to think about it a lot because if I think about it, I'm just gonna get overwhelmed.
When you look at other kids and even the times you've gone back and maybe seen some of the practices or just kids playing, are there other kids that have a chance to be good that's from Nicaragua? Are there other guys that you've seen and say, he has a chance to be good at basketball if he pursues it? Or are you really the only guy so far that you really see, okay, I have a legit chance at not just playing college, but potentially making money and playing in the NBA or pro at least someday?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of kids home. The only thing that I think there's not home is support. Like I had someone that take me from my hand, show me the right way. Like I had my parents guiding me in the right steps. Like that's the only thing I don't see home. Like how people talk about the hood here. Home
Mm-hmm.
is not the hood. It's just there's not there's not like a lot of good basketball courts out there. There's not a lot of basketballs like people could just go and play. There's not a coaches try to just help kids. Like you got to pay the coaches. There's not a lot of money in Nicaragua. It's just harder. Like if we have support, there's a lot of talent in Nicaragua that can be exploded.
When you talk about yourself, and obviously you have a nice NIL deal, and obviously it's not like multi-million-dollar deal or something like that, but when you potentially make more money playing professional, invest in the NBA in the future, overseas, and potentially other guys that do come out and play from there, what will it take for someone like yourself or others to come and give back to the community, help kind of build the basketball culture out there? What will it take for you guys to potentially get it to a place that more kids have more opportunities now to play basketball?
I mean, I think all it takes is someone that love it, like someone that you can trust. Because I'm definitely God first. I make it big and I get money. I'm definitely gonna give back to the community. I'm a help in any way possible. But all it takes is someone that you can trust, that you can give money and you're gonna invest it on kids. Because like people home is sad to say, but like there's just few people you can trust. Like what you can give money and they ain't gonna take it, or you can give like basketball, they ain't gonna sell it. Like that's all it takes. Someone that really love the sport and that gonna support the kids.
When you look back at your childhood, what would you say is one of your favorite memories from growing up out there? Is there one thing? It doesn't even have to be basketball related, but it's like your favorite memory from a kid. What is that?
Like comparing it to the US, to Nicaragua, it's just the brotherhood we have down there. Like here, I came to the US. I live in Miami for 1 year. Like it's just different. Like some people not even know their neighbors. Some people not even like know the people around them. Like all they do is work, go to school, like play sport, and that's it. Like home is different. Like our neighbors are like our family. Like we know each other. We just sit outside, talk about life. Like just that different. I don't know which word to use. Like how
Culture?
exactly the culture, how we deal with each other. That's growing up. Like we'll always be outside playing some type of sport. We'll be talking about life. We will be doing stuff. Like those are the memories that I wouldn't change for no video game, no nothing. Like it's just like that's my favorite memory.
Why do you think that is? Like we hear stories, obviously, people growing up in Africa or different places across the world that have that same characteristic where it is more of a community type base. But why do you think that is? Why is it that somewhere like where you grew up or somewhere like any other place in the area, like I said, in Africa or other countries, why is it that there's a stronger community type culture out there as opposed to what it is like in America?
I don't know. I just think it's the culture. Like churches are different. Like it's more people are more closer to each other. Like neighborhoods, everybody know the struggle is hard, so they try to support each other. Everybody know that nothing is easy in life. So like if they could help someone, they're gonna help them. I just think is that the way you grow up. Like if someone don't have food, you're gonna invite them to your house to go eat, to have a meal. It's just different. Like that's the way we grow up. So I think if everybody know the struggle, so everybody know how to appreciate stuff.
So we fast forward a little bit now, and you're at a point where you are a good enough player that you get the opportunity to come to America. At that same time, I believe that you also had opportunities to play professional. Now, I'm not sure exactly where, but take us to that point in your life. What were you evaluating, and what ultimately told yourself to say, I want to go to America and play in this prep system. I want to go out there and play at Miami. Take us to that timetable, and what exactly led you to come to America then?
So I think it's just God, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like so this process, like what happened is just like I can't believe it. Like so I had to go play pro in Mexico. I didn't sign no deal. I just did it verbal. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go play. I was like, I don't have anything else to do. I don't want to just stay in Nicaragua doing anything. I love sport, so I want to go play. I want to do something. So this coach for a pro team in Mexico tell me, listen, we're gonna pay you here. You can play with the team, and I also gonna get you a scholarship to study at the Tecnológico de Monterrey. That's a really good university in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
So my dad was like, okay, that sounds good. So we were already setting up everything to go to Mexico to do all this stuff. So 1 week before, my mentor came to me. He was like, listen, I can't promise you anything. There's a basketball camp happening in Miami with this guy that named Art Alvarez. Like, do you want to go to see how it is? Like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but something can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, definitely. So he get a lot of help from people in Nicaragua. Everybody apport money, get stuff to go to the camp. They get money to pay my pass. Like, people just help because that's how people are home.
Mm-hmm.
So we came, bam. I went to the camp. I win the MVP, and the coach was like, I mean, you got a full scholarship here. Like, pro always gonna be there. So like, you could just come and go to high school here, play college, and even make it big. You never know. So like, my dad was like, I really like the U.S. more than Mexico. I think Mexico is a little dangerous. He was like, go for it. So that's how it happened. I went to Miami Prep, played that year, get a scholarship from Arkansas State, a couple other universities. I didn't get the chance to visit any through COVID. I went to Arkansas State, and you know the rest.
So let's go through that year then. You head out there and you're living in Miami. Now, I know you and I were kind of talking a little bit before then. I believe you have your sister and your uncle or something out there too, so you have family. Were they already out there before you went out there, or when did they get out there?
So my uncle always lived in Miami. My
Mm-hmm.
sister just visiting. She know I'm gonna go to Miami, so she came. She gonna meet me there. My uncle always lived in Miami, so I know I had someone there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we really didn't have that good relationship because he always lived in Miami. I always live in Nicaragua, so we didn't know each other that good. But like, at least knowing that you have family there, like, that was something good. So
Mm-hmm.
that was about it.
So you step foot in America, officially a part of this. You have kind of a plan, at least for the next year. What did you want to get out of that year? Like, when you knew that you have one more year of playing basketball, and after that, it's figuring out what's next, whether it be college or whatever. What were your goals for that year? Like, what was the point of that? And what did you want to get out of that year when at Miami Prep?
I just wanted to learn, man. Like, whatever come was like gains. Like, I was gonna gain it. I just wanted to learn. I wanted to, like, I was like, in the US, I see all these kids, 13, 14 years old, dunking through their legs, doing all this stuff. Home, nobody do that. I was like, I want to get to that point. They're doing something good over here that have proved that they make better players. That's all. I was not even thinking about college. I was not even thinking about pros, about anything. All I wanted to do is learn. And I mean, it came out good.
So you play that season and you averaged 26.7 points a game and 20 rebounds a game, as well as having a double-double in every single game that year. And those 46 games you played. Did you surprise yourself at how good you were when you played out there?
No, I couldn't believe it. Like, the first 10 games, I was like, I think it was gonna be harder. That's what I told them. That's what I said to myself.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was gonna be harder. And my coaches was telling me, like, they still push me hard. They was like, you're not good enough. Like, because they've been out here, they know what it takes.
Mm-hmm.
So they just tried to push me. They probably knew I was good enough, but like, they don't make me stay comfortable. And I'm grateful for it. Like, I'm really grateful for that because they just push me. They make me a better player. Coach Piling, he just tried to get the best out of me. So that's what I think. I think it was gonna be harder. I mean, he tell me it's through all the work I put in. It was so easy. So like, just keep doing the same thing. And I mean, I did the same thing in college, and the results came out.
How did you adjust to living in America at that point, knowing that the language you kind of maybe had a little bit idea of it, but not obviously fluently? It's a new lifestyle. Was the transition easy for you, or how did you adjust to America?
It was not easy at all. Like, I was homesick. Like for the first 6 months, I was like, I want to go. I didn't tell my parents, my mom or my dad, because I know they would have been like, oh, come home. Then I just keep everything inside of me. I would talk with them every day. I would miss home. They would tell me like, keep strong, you're doing great stuff. Just keep pushing. I was homesick like for the first 6 months. Like after that, I started hanging out with my uncle more. I hanging out with my cousin, his son.
Mm.
And, like, they just make me feel like home also. And that helped me a lot with the transition living in America.
Have you been able to go back to home and see your family now? I know obviously with COVID it might have been harder, but have you been able to go back and see them since you left there and came to America?
Yeah, I went twice.
Mm-hmm.
First time I went to play with the national team.
Mm-hmm.
First I went home, spent a couple of days with them. Then I came back, practice. Then we had another window that we had to go play in Chile. I
Mm-hmm.
passed through home first, say hi to everybody, and then went to Chile. So I've been there twice since I came to America.
So we go through that season again at Miami Prep, and there's one game that stands out the most. You go out there, play IMG post grad, who is always an elite post grad team, and there's always NBA type players on that team. That time was Kenyon Martin Jr., who now is with the Rockets. You have 40 points and 17 rebounds that game. Take us to that night. What was that game like for yourself?
I mean, I know college coaches was out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at that point, I already thinking about like, here's already in my mind. Oh, I want to go to college. I mean, there's possibilities I go to college. I want to do it. So I mean, I just leave everything on the court. I tried to hustle everybody. I tried to get every rebound. I played the hardest. I scored 41. It was not 40. I remember. Yeah, and I just give everything. I leave everything on the court that night because I know there was a lot on the plate. So I just give everything, man.
At the same time, as you said, college just started getting in the mix for you at that point. Where were you, though, heading into that game? Did you already have the offers, or did the offers come after that game?
No, I already had like two offers, one from Florida Gulf Coast,
Mm-hmm.
one from UMBC, and one from a Division II. But yeah, but I was not comfortable because I see another one of my teammates had more offers. I was like, that make me more hungry. I was like, oh, I want to do that too. I want to like, it's not enough. I just want more. I just want more. So like, I was like, there's a lot of good college coaches here, and that day is when Arkansas State offered me.
Mm-hmm. Then you go through that season and you end up wrapping up and you have all the offers that we'll talk about in a second. But what was that year like? And you just go through from the beginning to end of it and you look back and reflect on that season. What was that year at Miami Prep like?
I mean, it was a really great experience. Like all my teammates was like brothers. Like all of us, like 90% of us was international. People from Colombia, Chile, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Spain. It was just all over the place. So like all of us know what it takes. Like all of us know that it's just like one time in life opportunity. So like it was a great experience. I learned a lot. Like hang out with my teammates, learn about a lot of culture, spend time with my family in Miami, learn a lot about basketball.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really good. I wouldn't change it for anything.
What would you say is the biggest thing that you learned that season that you brought into your game heading into college then?
Trying to be a leader.
Mm.
Like, because that year the coach tell me like is on your back to guide this team to a winning season. So like that was my responsibility during the whole season to be a leader, to guide everybody to like lead by example. So
Mm.
that's what I think. Like I came out the most from that season to try to be a leader no matter where I go.
There is a piece about your game that I do want to get into, and that's your rebounding. You're a great scorer as well. You're more than capable of doing that, but you are a dominant rebounder. And we obviously see, I know some people might say, what are the numbers going to look like when you go to the ACC? We'll talk about that in a second too, later on. But you have dominated the glass no matter where you play. You play on the FIBA international level. You've played obviously back home. You've played now in America throughout college, and that you're at Miami Prep. You always have been dominant on the boards. Has that just been a part of you, or how have you become so dominant as a rebounder while you're only 6'7"?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what I tell everybody. I don't know. I don't have no idea how I do that. I just love playing basketball. Like, I want every ball. Like to me, every shot that goes up and misses is a pass. That's what is in my mind. Like people when someone shoot the ball, they get mad and they're like, "Oh, that's a bad shot." Like a bad shot for someone else is a assist for me. Like I want to get that rebound and score it. So that's what I put in my mind. I just want every ball. I go for every ball, and that's my mentality when I go in the game.
The thing about you, though, is like I said, you're 6'7", and you've guarded guys that are typically, I should say, majority of the time, actually, you're guarding guys that are taller than you, stronger than you possibly even. When you see someone that's, let's say, 6'9", 6'10", 6'11", and you have to put a body on him, box him out, and get the rebound, what goes through your mind? What's your approach to getting that rebound when you have a height disadvantage or size disadvantage?
Uh, I don't know. I just want it more.
Mm.
Like, I mean, what I always say, size is just a number. To me, size doesn't matter. It helped a lot. If I would be shorter, I don't know what would happen. But I mean, I'm thankful with the size God gave me, and I'm gonna use it to my advantage. He can be stronger, I might be faster. He might be taller, I might be like more stronger. It's just like I don't think about that. I just don't put nothing in front of me. I'm like, if I set myself a goal, I'm gonna do it. And my goal is to try to get every rebound and try to help the team win every game.
Would you say then that rebounding is more about your mentality and the want to rebound the ball, or is it more about height or physical trait about someone?
It's about heart, man, because look at Dennis Rodman.
Yep.
He was not the tallest one. How can you explain that? A lot of times he says that he used to sit after practice, watch Jordan shoot. I mean, I think he just wanted it more than anybody. He out hustle everybody. He play harder than everybody. I think it's just about heart, man. If you want it more than anyone, I don't think nobody can beat you, no matter what size you are, no matter how strong you are. You just got to put everything out there and good things happen.
When you got to college, and now even as you're getting ready to prepare now for the ACC, but that first time when you first got to Arkansas State, did you think you'd be as good of a rebounder when you got there? Was that something that you just said, I know I'm going to put these numbers up. I know I can do it? Or did you even shock yourself about how good of a rebounder you could still be at the college level?
Coming out of high school and coming from Nicaragua, I don't even know rebounding was something that important. I didn't know I don't even think that was a really special stat until I reached to Arkansas State. Like people talking about, oh, he had that double. I not even understand basketball that good at that point yet. I was like, I not even know double what that mean. I had to ask my coaches after like the few first games. I was like, what's that? I didn't think rebounding was something that good. So I just do it naturally. I wanted it. Like that was the way, like because when I start playing basketball, nobody passed me the ball because I suck. So I was that was the way I get the ball and take it down the court and go score by myself. That's how I learned. Rebounded.
So then when in your career did you think that you were a good player? Because as you said, you didn't start playing till 13. Obviously, it took a little while for you to get comfortable and become a good player. When did you start feeling like, okay, I'm a legit player now. I know that I can play and I'm better than a lot of people, rather that be back home, when you got to America, even in college. When did you start feeling like, I actually am a good player?
I still don't think I'm a good player.
Mm.
Up to the day today, I think I need to learn a lot of stuff, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like first going into the ACC, I'm just gonna have to like change stuff in my game, like get better at a lot of stuff. I think I suck. I don't know. I don't know how I get defensive player or player of the year. I just think I need to become a way better player to play in this other league.
So let's go through that recruiting process then, because you're in America for the first year of your life and you pull in offers from the likes of Iona, Mercer, UMBC, Arkansas State's obviously there. The list goes on. What was that process like, though? Was there a final two schools for you? Obviously, we know Arkansas State's where you had, but was there a number two option, maybe a top three with that you kind of talked about and you really liked?
Not really, because I didn't visit anybody. I didn't really meet the coaches in person. I think I thought with every coach like once when they went to watch me play for a game. That was about it. So like I really didn't know where I was, like every city, every culture, like every school basketball culture. I didn't have a clear picture of every school, so I didn't have a good idea. Like so that one I really say in God we trust. I trust my high school coach. He know the head coach from Arkansas State, and I just in God we trust. I went.
Yeah, that's something I didn't think about because I know COVID came into play at that point as well. So it stopped a lot of visits too for guys. But That has to be difficult because someone that grows up in America, I never visit something like Arkansas, somebody could say, I don't know what it looks like, but I know where it's at. I kind of know the idea of it. You obviously didn't know that. You're not from America, so you don't have an idea of any of that. So when you're going through that process and COVID comes in, doesn't allow you to go on visits anymore and shuts pretty much the whole world down, walk us through the steps that you eventually came to say, Arkansas State, yep, this is where I'm going. I know this is where God wants me to play at.
Yeah, I mean, I just pray about it. I ask my parents what they think about it. Like they pray about it too. They say like whatever happened, like just be thankful about it. You go there, you don't like it, just try to adjust. Like be thankful. Stuff like nothing is easy in life. Just learn to appreciate everything that comes. So like I just went like with an open mind to Arkansas State. I know what I mean. I love it. I love all the people them there. Like I get used to it, but I just have to move on. Like I'm so thankful to Jonesboro community. Everybody open, like welcome me with open hands. Just love, man.
We go back a little bit. When you did get that very first Division I offer, though, I want to hear that story. Like, what was that experience like for you? How did you get that offer? And what was your reaction when you found out that you had your college paid for now and you were going to be able to play basketball at the Division I level?
So actually thinking about that, my first Division I offer was Manhattan Jasper.
Mm.
Like I was like, dang, this is really happening. Like a Division I program, like actually have interest in me. I just couldn't believe it. I was like, if someone that is this bad can play Division One, like I mean, it's possible. I was like, I just need to learn, man. I just need to learn more. I want to learn, and if they can help me to be better, I'm gonna do it. So that was my mentality going in. I was like, thank God for this offer. Just keep working. Let's see whatever else can come.
When you got that offer, were you able to call your parents and talk to them about that? And or whenever you did talk to them, fine, tell them that you were Division I offers. What was their reactions?
My dad was like, he was happy.
Mm-hmm.
Mom really didn't care about basketball. She talked to me about how my grades were, like how I'm doing in high school, how were everything. When my dad was like, "That's good. Like I seen you play, you could do good. Like just keep working. Like God have good plans for you."
When you talk about yourself playing that year out there at Miami Prep or now through college, has your parents ever been able to watch a game of you yet? Or how do they? I'm sure they probably can find a way online or on streaming or whatever, but have they got to watch you play in person yet?
No, they haven't been able to came to Arkansas State. They haven't seen me play in person since I leave Nicaragua. They
Hmm.
watch me play for the national team. They watch couple games for Arkansas State because like it's just difficult like for the streaming. Always in a different region. It's just
Yeah.
different. So like they never watch me play in high school like for Miami Prep or for Arkansas State.
If your parents were able to watch you play at Miami, rather it be next year or however many years you spend out there, what would that be like?
I mean, it mean a lot. You're gonna make me a little bit nervous, making it like I'm gonna be thinking like I gotta play good. They never watched me play college. Like
Mhm.
it's gonna be a little weight on my shoulder, but I'm gonna be honest, really excited for it.
So you choose Arkansas State, and there was a unique connection with your head coach. I believe that I know he's also a Spanish speaking coach, so you're able to connect on him where it makes you a little more comfortable, I have to imagine. So, what was your relationship like with Coach Blotto? How did you guys get that relationship, and just what was it like having someone that you shared something with, someone you can kind of relate to and make you feel a little bit more comfortable?
I mean, it was really good, being on the court when you playing other teams and nobody on that team speaks Spanish, and he just be like telling me what to do in Spanish, like calling me, like telling me back screen, like pick and pops, and like don't set the screen, just slide to the rim. It just feel good, it make you feel like home, like speaking Spanish,
Mhm.
like that just make a better relationship between us, like on the court in practice sometimes. Like he would explain something and I didn't understand one word. He would like translate it to me and tell me it in Spanish. So it just helped a lot and it make we like a lot closer.
The hard thing for everyone that year was COVID, and that still was a factor this past year to a certain extent. But when you talk about someone like yourself, you're already was hard because you were a freshman in college. It's hard for any freshman. On top of that, you're still only in your second year in America. You're still adjusting to the lifestyle, and now you're your first time living in Arkansas. How did you get through a pandemic, getting familiar at the college level as a freshman, and having to still be relatively new to America? How did you get through all that year?
I mean, just keeping constant communication with my family.
Mm-hmm.
Who I say they help me to keep focused, keep my feet on ground. Like they help me when I'm sad, when I'm feeling down, when I'm lonely. Like, I'm really close with my family, so I can say like they help me a lot.
Now, I know you're also a believer, and you've talked about God a little bit throughout this now, but how big has being able to go out there and pray to God, being able to rely on Him throughout all these different obstacles you've gone through, how big has that been for you?
I mean, that's my culture. I grew up in the church, like
Mm-hmm.
going to church every Saturday, like reading the Bible, talking about God since I'm small, having devotionals in the morning with my family. He has been a really important aspect in my life that I think without him I wouldn't be here. So I'm just thankful. Like thanks God for everything.
Growing up also in a Christian household, you kind of learn the stories, you learn God a little bit, obviously from your parents and all that. But there comes a certain point where you take kind of ownership of that relationship. It becomes that one-on-one relationship with God, where it's not just about your family kind of bringing it upon you. When was that for you? Was that still when you were out there in Nicaragua? Was that when you came to America? Or when did you really start forming that personal relationship with God?
I mean, I think I always had that relationship with
Mm-hmm.
God. It just became more close and more real.
Mm-hmm.
And I came out here when I was alone, when I didn't have no family,
Yeah.
all the way here in Arkansas State. I just see the way he worked. Like he was always with me. He make me win all these awards. He make me a better player. Like I know I couldn't do that on my own. That there had to be someone out there helping me, and I know it's him. I always had that relationship with him, but that just make it more real.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know it was there, and like thank God for everything. It's always gonna be like that.
You get out to Arkansas State and you're a freshman, as I said, you're in the middle of a pandemic. And it was a lot more difficult to have off-season workouts. The locker rooms were messed up. You guys had to do the pretty much daily testing. You guys had to wear the masks. It made everything much more complicated. What was the off-season like from the time you stepped foot out there at Arkansas State to the time right before the season started? What was that process like just trying to get ready for college basketball?
It was just different, man. Because like some practices, like three guys had COVID. He just go down. It's less people in the rotation. You don't have no scouting team.
Mm.
Like it was just difficult. Like at some point before, like I don't know, like 1 week before the season start that year, I get COVID. Like I think I did lost everything. Like what I did during the season, I lost like 10 pounds. I
Mm.
feel so weak. It was just a starting over. Like that's one time when I asked God like why that happened. Like I worked so hard during all our season. Like why? But then I mean, God plans are perfect. Everything work out. He just pushed me to like work even harder, push myself even more. And like the process, COVID just messed up a lot of stuff. But also I think I'm not gonna call it a blessing because definitely was not a blessing. It took a lot of people. But like it gave everybody an extra year to play sports. So like it was something good also.
So you got COVID and you ended up losing 10 pounds before the season even started. So you basically had to build yourself up throughout the rest of the year then, or did that 10-pound loss happen during the year?
No, it happened like in that week. Like I
Mm.
didn't want to eat. Like I couldn't taste the food. I couldn't smell. Yes, messed me up a little bit. And like I remember the first game coming after that, I had like 6 rebounds and 6 points. And that's my first game ever playing college basketball. So I was like, dang, this thing is hard. And my coach was like, COVID messed you up. We know you're a better player than this. Don't feel no way. Just go. Like I work. And I mean, then I get one double, then another one, then another one. And I was like, yep, it was COVID.
So let's go through that offseason a little bit then. You get out there and you're this freshman. Did you believe that right away you were going to be a guy that averaged a double double? Was the freshman of the year? Did all these different things started all but one game for your team that year? Did you think that you were going to be that good, or when did you start feeling that I can play this level? I can actually be a pretty good player?
I mean, every day when I was to go to practice, I was like, I'm just trying to earn my spot on the rotation. I just tried to go hard every day. Like after I start like 10 games, like that was my same mentality. I was like, nothing is given. Like one day I could come and play really bad. Someone else is gonna start. So like every day I just go out and try to earn my spot in the rotation. That was my mentality during the whole season. Then like I really not even knew that they have a award of freshman of the year. So I'm just playing and then like I don't know, we are like game 20. I
Mhm.
remember one of the managers from the team came up to me and was like, you're gonna win the freshman of the year, right? And I was like, what's that? And then he started explaining and I was like, oh dang, I not even knew that. When the day come, I win the award and I mean I was just happy and thankful for it.
Do you think coach was surprised by how good you were as a freshman, or was he even shocked?
I think he was a little bit. I think I think he was not expecting that. I think he see potential in me, but not that fast.
Yeah.
And he told me he was just like, "It's amazing. Just keep working."
When he told you that you are a starter, you've earned your spot now, and obviously you said you could obviously still lose it. It's a day by game basis, but that you were going to start at least that next game. How'd that conversation go? And what was your reaction to that?
He's like, he was telling me like, "We really don't have a rotation." Like he never make me feel comfortable. He never make me think like I'm a starter.
Mm-hmm.
That was his mentality. He never told me I'm a starter. He never said, okay, the starters go there. He never used their words. Like he always would call out different lineups, different people during workouts. Normally the same person will start, but like he never make we think that there was a starting lineup. So like everybody every day go out there and hustle, work hard, and give everything.
Now you go and you get off to a little bit of a rocky start in a way because of COVID. What was the point of the season that you started feeling comfortable though? When did you kind of settle down a little bit and feel like, okay, I'm back at 100% now. I've healed up from COVID, and I'm kind of comfortable now. I understand the flow of the college basketball game. I feel a little bit better now. When was that in that season for you?
I really don't know. That just happened so fast.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like a movie. Like I don't know, when you watching a basketball movie and like this part of the movie just come on that a song start playing and there's just highlights start going off. That's how it feel at that moment. I feel like I belong there. I could have played at that level and I just get comfortable. I really didn't realize that till after the season, but like it happened really quick. So it feels really good. It did feel like a highlight.
We touched up on the aspect of you being a hometown hero now, a sensation, someone that people look up to. When did that start happening? And I'm not sure if you even knew about it yet because you obviously were still in America, but when did you start realizing that you had this growing fan base now growing out there where you grew up?
I think is when I went back the first time to play with the national team. I
Mm-hmm.
remember there was a like Nicaragua pro league they
Mm-hmm.
were playing, so they invited me to go watch a couple of games. So I still didn't realize it at that point. I'm watching the game. A couple of people come and take pictures with me, and that's it. But like when the game was over and I was trying to leave, like I was like 1 hour in the crowd, like taking pictures. Like the owner of the league had to like get security to let me out. Like that's when I realized like that the impact I have on the kids back home and like how they look up to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's the point when I realized it.
So that season, in the middle of a pandemic, you guys have all the weird COVID adjustments. Take us through the year though. Like you guys still got to go out there and you play yourself in 23 games that year. What was that season like? You just go from the beginning to end. What was your very first year of college basketball like?
I mean, it was a beautiful experience. At the beginning, it was hard, like just starting with the practices at Division I is just so quick. I couldn't believe it. Like coming from high school to college, I see everybody just moving so fast. Like I had to adjust to that. Like then start playing. Also, everybody moving so fast. You get out of breath. You're like, dang, what just happened? Like it was just adjusting process. Like then winning the freshman of the year, getting first team all conference, first team all tournament. I also get the first team all tournament that year. It was just unbelievable. Like, I just couldn't believe it that all this stuff happening. Like everybody home, the support they show, the love they show, the people in Jonesboro, the support and the love also. It was just amazing. Like great.
I hear from a lot of freshmen that there's a lot of times a freshman wake up moment, rather that be during practices, that be during the season, that you play someone that for whatever reason might be stronger than you, more experienced, whatever it is. And it kind of gives you a moment where you're like, okay, so this is college basketball. It's much different now. Did you have that moment for yourself as a freshman? And if so, what was that?
Yeah, I think that was my first game of college. Like I think I thought I said to myself, oh, like damn, I'm not good enough. But like I didn't know, like I didn't try to put no excuse out. So I was just telling myself, oh damn, I'm not good enough. But I didn't tell anybody that. That was just a fight between me and myself. Like I was talking to myself. We went to play
Morehead State?
Morehead State. That was the first game I played. Like he guarded me and I couldn't do anything. I was like, dang, like this is another level. Like it's crazy. Like I think that was my wake up moment. I was like, this is crazy. This is Division I. Like I'm not good enough. I gotta just. After that, I think I spent every single night in the gym shooting a lot. I went to lift more weights. I did cardio. I didn't want to get tired. Like, I think that was my wake up moment where I just pushed myself to a different limit. I throw up. I was about to pass out. I just pushed myself after that game.
You said earlier, I do want to go back to that because I know for a fact that although I've interviewed a lot of people, I don't remember them all. There's one thing I know I never heard someone say, and that's that they suck, because a lot of players, as you know, I mean, they have a natural confidence about them. They have a confidence that they think they're great and all that, which helps make them great players. The fact that you said that you suck the Aussie shows, and obviously it's evident, everyone knows that you are a humble, down to earth guy. What's made you still remain that when you get player of the year, when you get all the different awards, and now you're at the point too where you're going to go to a school like Miami. They want to pay to have you play, obviously, the NIL stuff. What kind of comes from that? And how have you remained so humble, even though you've got this much attention on you now and most people recognize you as one of the top players?
I think that's how my parents make me, like from small, make me grow up. They don't make me feel better than anyone. Like everybody is the same. Like if I can help someone do it, like it's just that culture that I grew up in, and like never get comfortable because like when people say, "Oh, I'm really good at this," that's like when they get a little comfortable, and like that's when someone else just get over them. So like, I mean, I know I'm kind of good, but like I never, like in my mind, I never say I'm good because like, I don't want to get comfortable. I want to keep playing the same way, get better, like just find another level, another level, another level. Like I think till when I retire from basketball or like anything happen, like till when I stop playing basketball, that's when I start bragging and I'm gonna start saying, "Oh, I was really good." I was like that gonna be the point. But like till then, I don't think I'm gonna stop saying that.
So you end that first season. You guys as a team go 11-13, obviously a little up and down, but you go into the next season and you already were an all conference first team selection. You did end up rising your numbers and you have a great season we'll get into, but what did you want to get done that offseason? You're heading into your sophomore year then. What were the things that you focused on last summer to get ready for your sophomore season of college?
Just get better because I was not comfortable with just scoring 12 points. I think I did miss too many shots. I think I did miss too many putbacks. I just get in the gym and like, I mean, I extend my range a little bit. I hit a lot of more mid ranges. So like, I work a lot on that. And like the head coach, he did put me a goal. So I was like, I'm gonna do it. He tell me like, if you score this amount of points and keep the same amount of rebounds, I can bet you're gonna be player of the year. Do you want to do that? And I was like, definitely. And I mean, it happened. He's like, I know they're gonna put you like preseason player of the year. Like it's not normally that someone that they put preseason win the player of the year. So like that was another way coming into the season thinking about that. I know a lot of people have high expectations for me. So like it was just a lot at the beginning, but then I just stopped thinking about that. I just play my game. I did whatever I could to make the team win, not thinking about me, thinking about everybody. And I mean, I get that award too, and I'm really thankful for it.
When you were just getting ready to start this past season, your conference player of the year season, did you expect, because of already what you're able to accomplish as a freshman and then knowing all the work that you put in over the offseason, did you think you'd have as good of a season as you just had this past year?
I, I'm still not comfortable. Like, I think I could have done better,
Mm.
if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm.
I just think I could have went up a little bit more in rebounds. I think I could have been a better scorer. I think I still can do better.
It was a big addition, though, to this team. You guys got in Desi now, who's also down to a top three, just announced today. Getting him in that team where he obviously was a high major point guard. He's been already play at that level, and he obviously just in this past season too. How big was that for you guys, and what was it like forming that dynamic duo with him?
I mean, it was great. Desi is a great guy. The energy he brings to the court every game, every practice, like the type of teammate he's to. He tried to be a leader also. He tried to, if he knows something that somebody else don't know, coming from a different conference, a higher level conference, the knowledge he brings from there, helping all of us, pushing us every day, like making us guard him. He's a great guy that give everything and like play to win every game. Like I don't have anything bad to say about Desi.
When you two first got to see each other for the very first time, did you guys click right away, or when did you feel like you two really formed that dynamic duo together?
Yeah, I mean, I think after the couple games, we start hanging out more and like we just start talking about basketball, about life. So like being a good basketball player, I don't think just come on the basketball court. It's
Mm-hmm.
also off the basketball court. When you hang out, you connect, like you just get to know each other because like getting to know each other off the court also people believe it or not, it make you a better player on the court.
Mm-hmm.
So like we just connected, man. Like how he said in the interview, we were Batman and Robin. I don't know who were Batman or who were Robin. We was just that dude though.
Whichever school does land him, what are they going to be getting in Desi?
I mean, a great guy, a great teammate that gonna give everything, every game, every practice. Like just gonna help everybody grow. And just a great guy, man. Ain't nothing bad to say about him. He's just awesome.
Well, let's go through this season then, because you guys have a much better season as a team, 18-11 record. You are the player of the year this year. What was your sophomore year of basketball like?
Incredible, man. Just thankful with the Lord for winning all these awards, for getting I don't know if it's the best season in the last 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes. I just feel good, man, doing that for the community of Jonesboro, for all my teammates. Like, because I did, like, winning the player of the year. Like, I did that because of my teammates. Like, if they didn't pass me the ball, if they didn't cut, if they didn't, like, basketball is a team game. I can't play alone. So, like, thanks to them, like, I did everything I did. So, like, it was just awesome, man. They're like family to me now. I'm going to another school, but we are brothers. They know that. It's just love, man.
When you got the award and you were named player of the year, how did you find out about that and what was your reaction?
So that's it after we came back from the tournament,
Mm-hmm.
the conference tournament. We sitting in the film room. We talking about what coming for next year and stuff. And the coach, and he said, before we leave, by the way, Norchad Omier win the player of the year. Nobody said anything. Like everybody were expecting it. I was not expecting it personally. Everybody was like, we know that was gonna happen. Then he said, but I got a better one. He also win defensive player of the year. Everybody was there. Yeah, because they know that's what I wanted to win. They
Mm-hmm.
know that was my favorite and what I was like working harder for. So like everybody that was in that film room, everybody congratulate me, everybody hugged me. They keep working hard. It was just awesome, man. Knowing that I did all those stuff coming from Bluefields, Nicaragua, the impact I have in the Sun Belt Conference was just great.
So how about for your parents? When was the time you were able to go tell them that you were player of the year and defensive player of the year? And what was their reaction?
My mom was like, "What's that?" He didn't know. He was like, "Oh, congratulations, whatever it is, keep working. Like, I'm happy for you." My dad was like, "Good job. Like, that's my son." He was just really happy, really proud. We talk about basketball after that for a little while. He tell me, don't make that keep you off track. You have a bigger goal now. So like he just keep my feet on the ground and don't make me get comfortable with that.
So then you look back now at your 2-year career out there at Arkansas State. What was your favorite memory between on the off the court? Like, what was your favorite memory at Arkansas State?
I don't know, man. The friendship I make, like
Hmm.
how I tell you, like our team was like brothers. Like all the international players that were on the team, a guy from Croatia, guy from Serbia, a guy from Senegal. Like we just been international. We just clinch it better. We hang out more. Like international people like to cook, so we used to go cook together. We just showed like just the relationships I built being there, the people, like the community of Jonesboro, like how they show love. Like it was just like beating teams that beat we the year before. Like it's a lot of memories that I can say. I just love them.
And at the same time, too, what would you say is the biggest lesson that you learned, rather that be as a person off the court, on the court, both even? What was the biggest lesson that you learned from your time at Arkansas State that you will now bring with you to Miami and whatever else God's got in store for you going forward?
To just be a good person, man.
Mm.
Like no matter how stuff go, you can lose a game, you can play terrible, you can feel everything don't go your way. Just be a good person off the court and on the court. God plans are perfect, and that what gotta happen gonna happen. Just work hard, listen to your parents, like believe in something, is in God, Allah, whatever it is, just keep faithful and like the sky's the limit, man. I did it coming all the way from Nicaragua, Bluefields, Nicaragua, like anybody can, man. Just keep dreaming and work hard.
Now, one of the steps that ultimately brought you to Miami, the first part of that was after the season, a lot of people obviously looked at you and said, like any guy that was a dominant player at their conference, okay, he's a candidate to potentially transfer out. We know it'd be someone that's interest at least. You then put out the statement though that says, okay, you're coming back. You're going to stay at Arkansas State. With that first part, what led to that first decision? Why did you at first say, I plan to come back for another year at Arkansas State?
I love the community, man. I love my teammates. Like I did just build really good relationships there. But then I just start talking with people, like set people from the community, my teammates. Like they tell me that because I always will talk about my dream that is going to the NBA.
Yeah.
They say that you're doing good here. Like they never tell me to leave, but they would always think like, "Oh, you will do great playing over there. You will do great doing this. I know you could do it. If you're going to try, they would be like, if you're going to transfer portal, like a lot of people are gonna want to make you go there."
Mm-hmm.
Like, talking with my dad, he's like, "Whatever you do, I'm gonna support you. Like I'm not gonna push you to leave. I'm not gonna like." He just came down. I sit down. I pray about it. I think a lot. I'm like. I mean, for my goal where I want to do, I just think that was the right decision. You know, most of the people in the community support me. They tell me that they was happy for me, that they think is the right thing to do. Like it was just hard, but like I know if I wanted to reach to where I want to go, I had to do sacrifice, and that was one of them. So like after I did that, I just think again, and I was like, I think I messed up. Everybody gonna said I'm gonna have to post something else now, and like everybody gonna be like, "What? Why did he post that before?" So like it was just a little. I was a little confused at that point, but then I make my mind up to do something else, and I did it.
So at that point, obviously, you do enter the portal, and we're going to get into that in a second. But there's something that kind of backtracks a little bit, but still going to be part of your life going forward that I do want to go into. And that is playing for the national team. That is something that obviously is a huge accomplishment for anybody to be able to represent your country. So I want to get into that a little bit. And you got the opportunity to play for your country this past summer, so a year ago. Walk us through that opportunity, though. How did that come to be? How did you first get invited to that?
So my mentor called me one day, and
Mm-hmm.
he was like, "Look, this guy from the national team called me." I was like, "Wait, what? The national team?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, I tell him I was gonna talk with you before the. He said like there is a tournament coming up that they invite to Nicaragua for the qualifiers for the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, let me ask my dad because I always go through my dad first. Like I go and ask him. I was like, let me ask my dad. So I went and asked my dad, and he was like, son, whatever you want to do, man, I'm gonna support you.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay. I went. I tell him I'm gonna come. I practice for 1 week, and we went to El Salvador, man. Amazing experience with the national team, man. Playing with pros because a lot of those guys play in Europe, Puerto Rico, South America. It was just really good, learning from them. Older guys, I'm still young. Like stuff that they showed me was just an amazing experience. Like, I mean, any kid that grew up playing basketball, they always probably dream with playing on the national team.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't grow up playing basketball, but like when I start doing it, I was like, oh yeah, I want to play there one day, and it become true, and like it's just amazing.
That is a huge thing because I think for anybody, like you said, growing up
Mm.
wherever you are in this world, the goal probably is NBA number one, but very close to it. If not, for some people's case, it is number one. Saying if I can make that 12-ish man roster of guys that come from this country that can go out and play at the World Cup level or play in the Olympic level, even like that's a huge thing. And even obviously to get a medal or something like that would be even bigger. But to know that you've already kind of got used to representing your country in a sense in America now. Like you play for us, Nicaragua, but to go out and have that country's name across your chest, what was that like?
It was just great, and I did it once,
Mm-hmm.
but it was under 18.
Yeah.
I went to Panama. We win Central American champions. It was just amazing. We win the gold. We went undefeated. Nobody beat us. So like that was good. But like playing for the older team, like the real Nicaragua team, it was just unbelievable at first, man. It was just amazing. I can't explain how happy it made me wearing blue and white, having that name on my chest, having my last name on the back, like knowing all of Nicaragua looking at you when you're playing. It was just amazing.
Would you say making that team and being a part of that, is that your biggest accomplishment so far as a player? Or what would you say has been your biggest accomplishment as a basketball player to this point?
First division Nicaraguan basketball player. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
being the first one doing something is just, I think, is just greater than, you know what I mean.
So going forward, then obviously, unless something happens to you, you don't want to play basketball or something for some reason going forward, like that's going to be an opportunity present for you for the foreseeable future. What's the next opportunity like looking like for yourself? When do you plan on, if you want to, obviously play for Nicaragua going forward? And what's the next opportunity to look like for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, they tell me the coming up the year that when it is, I think November of this year. I think there's another gap, but I think preseason gonna already start. So like, I don't know if it gonna mix up with that. So I'm not. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to play with them.
Mm-hmm.
So, but like, if I'm not in season playing basketball over here, I definitely want to play for the team. I got to ask Coach L first. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like, I for sure looking forward to any other opportunity I got to play with the team. Like because I'm a pro Nicaraguan. I wanna wear those blue and white
Mm-hmm.
and try to do whatever I can to put our country in high.
Without doubt. Well, let's get into this portal process now because you enter that portal after you originally said you're going to come back. And as you said, and many people expected, you get offers from all over the country. Everyone wants you to play for their school. Then you narrow it down to that final four, though Miami, Florida State, Georgetown, Texas Tech. From the time you entered the portal to the time you gave your final four, though, what was it about those four schools that stood out? And just what was the experience like in the portal?
I mean, I just wanted to go to somewhere that was gonna give me the opportunity to grow, to to play at the higher level, to make me a better player, like have a good development program. You know, also like I picked Miami because it had a lot of Nicaraguans there, the Latin community. I know the support gonna be there.
Mhm.
That I'm gonna be able to talk Spanish with more people. Like I'm gonna be with one really good coach, Coach L. Like to me, he's a goat. Like coming to like coming to Miami, playing prep school there, hearing about him. It was just crazy to me how he had interest in me. It was unbelievable. And like Coach Mark Adams from Texas Tech, Coach Patrick from Georgetown, Coach Hamilton from Florida State. I mean, all of them was just great programs, really good development programs, and that's what I was looking like more like. I just wanted to grow because like how I have said during all of this, like I just want to learn, man. I want to get better. I think I'm not good. I'm not that I'm not good enough. I think that I still have a lot to learn. I just
Mhm.
want to learn, get better, and like push myself. That's why I came down to those four programs. I think those four programs had really good development programs, really good coaching staff. Like I like the family like atmosphere they have. It was just really good.
What was it like getting all those phone calls? Because when you first entered, I have to imagine your phone was blowing up. So, what was it like having to talk to coaches probably what 10 hours a day for the first week or so? Like, what was that like?
It was just crazy. Like it was unbelievable. I was really excited about it. Like I didn't go through that before. I didn't like my first recruiting process was definitely not like that. Like it was hard also, like narrowing it down, like telling a lot of schools, like no really good programs. Like I just like it was overwhelming, a little stressful, but really hard, like trying to make the right decision. So it was I say it was just a lot. It was stressful, but really good stress, like having all these great programs looking on you. So I was just happy, man.
What was it about Miami then? What was it about Coach Larrañaga and that program that came over and you basically said, okay, this is the program I want to play college basketball at? How did they win you over?
So Coach L sit down and break down to me. This is what I like the most. He break down to me how he gonna make me a better player. Like he showed me stats like numbers that players that went there they were already good, but they make them better. Like that's what caught my attention the most because all I wanted to do is just get better, like adjust to that league and do good at it too. Get like be better at like extending my range, like being a better player, learning from a really good coach. Like that's what won me over. Like and also, I mean, the first city that I was in since I leave Nicaragua, I had that love for that city. So
Mhm.
that's something that also had something to do with choosing Miami.
You went on that visit. What was that like from the time you got there, the time you left? It had to obviously be big. So, what was that visit like?
It was just I really was like, what can they show me that I don't know about Miami? Like because I've been there before, and it was just great, man. Like the guys down there, the way they talk about Coach L, the way Coach L talk with me, like the debate, like what caught my attention the most was just the development program, man. Like the way he tell me he was gonna make me better. Like that's what gained me. That's what caught my attention and win me over everything.
So, when you were on that visit, then what were some of the things you guys did? What were the places you guys went? I'm sure you guys always saw campus, whatever, but just take us through everything you guys were able to get done during that visit.
So he went to show me like the basketball facility, talk with the strength coaches. It was a really good talk. The strength coach was at Miami. Leave, he went to Kansas State. But then the strength coach from Florida went to Miami. So like he's also a really good strength coach. So the academic part, like my mom is really interested in academics. So like that really got like she really liked that too. So I mean, for me, it was just more about basketball. But I also got to get my homework done. I'm a student athlete. Like we went to a baseball game. They know I like baseball also. We went to a baseball game. The community down there just going to the baseball game. I see how they love the love they show and the support they show for the basketball team was just amazing, man.
Mm-hmm. Now, we do know that one of the biggest headline things about Miami has been the NIL contracts coming in for you guys. And obviously, we've heard about yours. We heard about Nigel. And obviously, Zay Wong also had his situation, I think, settled now, too. But how big of a factor, if any, did the NIL aspect have for you in this process?
I mean, it was good, like being an international student, it's just different. It's a little bit more delicate. Like you had to find a way how to do it. But like Mr. John Ruiz, like he showed me the way.
Mm-hmm.
He have it under control. Like he's just doing everything possible. Like he's not doing anything that is illegal. He's not doing anything. So like, I mean, that's a plus. That's just a plus.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball part.
When you look at someone like for yourself and the situation you come from, and we talked about in the beginning to like being able to give back, how big is that part for you now, knowing that you will have the ability to help your family out or help even go and giving back a little bit? How big is that for you?
I mean, it's amazing because like knowing where I'm coming from, knowing that nearly everything I done, like I done it for myself because my parents always say, "Oh, I don't want anything," but like they deserve everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's my mentality. So like knowing that I'm gonna be able to help, knowing that I'm gonna be that person to just help a lot, man. I'm gonna be able to also give back to the community. Like it's just amazing.
When you look at the ability of what NIL wise Miami had compared to Florida State or Georgetown, Texas Tech, were they able to go higher than other schools? Was that part appealing to you, or was that just something that completely added up but differently compared to other ones?
No, I mean they were pretty even.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all of them are high majors, so like
Yeah.
damn, the money is not a problem at those schools. So like that really didn't was not a lot of difference. It was pretty even. So like that really didn't have a lot to do. I mean, NIL is just a game changer and it's really good, making a lot of your name, image, and likeness. Like it's just really good.
Well, let's go into Coach L a little bit more because he's going to be your coach that you're going to be coached by now for however many years you decide to stay out there. When you were talking with him, getting to experience him off the court, because a lot of people are going to see what he does on the court and how he coaches, and there might be interviews here and there, but you get to see him off the court, just walk around campus, on the phone, whatever. What is he like off the court?
He's a great guy, man. He make you feel like you're a part of the family.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just the way like he's like a rock star in Miami. Like being with him at campus is like being with a celebrity. Like people taking pictures with him with the basket with the players, like his wife. Like I mean, I don't know, like the way he treat, like he called, he tried to keep in contact with you. He talked with my parents. That's just like it's just amazing, man. He make you feel good. Like sometimes it's not just about that, but like you want to be somewhere where you feel comfortable also off the court, but on the court they push you. And I think that's something that Coach L got. He's gonna make you feel like family, but he's gonna push you really hard on the court and make you be the best version of yourself.
When you look at all the memories that you've created in the short time so far, Coach L, what's your favorite memory?
He trying to speak Spanish. he have a Cuban background,
Mm-hmm.
but he said he never learned to speak Spanish. They never show him. Like so, like yes, he trying to speak Spanish. Like that just cracked me up, and like he's really funny.
So did he get anything right? Was it like a 10, let's say on a scale of 1 to 5, like 5, he was perfect speaking at 1, he didn't know what he's doing. Where would you say he's on the scale? Like how close was he to at least making some kind of sense?
You cut the 1.5, like it's like that's how he was. So, like it was really funny. I mean, he can say stuff like, "What's up? How you doing? I want to go to the bathroom." Like basics, but like having a conversation it's just so funny, man. You got to understand Spanish to know how funny it is.
let's go into this team now because you guys are still probably make a few more moves or something, but there is a pretty solid core. You got obviously Niall's coming in, then the recruiting class is really solid, headed by 4 different guys. Then you also get the returners of Isaiah Wong, who was a star and is debatably the best player last year. In my opinion, he was, as well as you get in a lot of guys. I think you're returning 6, 7 guys too. When you see this roster, and there's still guys to replace, Cameron Glass is a huge piece, and obviously Charlie Moore and Sam obviously other big pieces. But when you see the core group that's already formed now, how excited does that make you about how talented and how good this team can be next year?
I mean, that's good because, we're going to be pushing each other in practices and making each other's better. So, like, we have big aspirations. Last year, Miami did make it to the Elite Eight. Like, next year, we're trying to do, like, more. Like, you never could be comfortable. So, like, it just make me really excited, like, knowing that we could do great stuff, man.
Fans are excited to get you out there. What can you tell them that you're bringing to this program? When you step foot out there and you start playing games for Miami, what are you bringing to this program?
I'm bringing hustle, man. I'm bringing everything what I can to win games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to get double doubles. I'm not trying to make stats. So I'm just trying to give everything. Put my body out there. Try to hustle harder than everybody. Try to do the right defensive plays. And what comes is just a plus.
Now, you're going to obviously have a few more months or a couple weeks think you're going out there, and then you have about a month or so, month and a half to get on campus, get with this team. What are the things that you personally want to get better? Are there certain things that you want to improve on before you get ready to get on campus and ultimately before the season starts?
I got to get that right. Got to extend that range, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that always. That's something Coach L say that he make everybody shoot. You can't be throwing bricks up there. You got to show him that you can do it. But that's one thing. Like the system that Miami plays, that's something also that I like. That there is a lot of freedom to become a better player on the court.
You look at all the schools that you're going to play. So mostly, I guess that we should say in the ACC. Then, is there one school, and if so, who is it that you're the most excited to go play against next year?
I want to play the two blue bloods, Duke and North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to play Florida State because I was considering to go there, and I know they're a really good program. Coach Hamilton is a really good coach.
Yep.
So like knowing more about them after going on the visit, I'm also excited to play Florida State.
Well, I do know that all guys want to be remembered for something. So when you leave Miami and however many years it is, what do you want to leave Miami being remembered for what you achieved both on and off the court there?
Winning the national championship, being that team that win the national championship, being part of that team. Like, I don't want to be remembered for any of my stats. I wanna be on that team. I want to be on the court when it happens. I want to do whatever it takes. Like, if I got a rebound, I got to score 0 points but get 25 rebounds. Like, I just want to be remembered for that guy that hustled the most and like do whatever it takes to win.
Well, a few more things before I let you go. One is that we kind of already touched up a little bit on your faith, but I want to go a little bit deeper on that. So you look back now on this whole journey that you've been on, all the crazy stuff you've gone through, ups and downs, everything. Where would you say has been the biggest moment that you've had to rely on God to help you throughout this journey?
I mean, just being far from home, that was one of them. Like coming to Miami, like living with new people. Like we live, all the teammates live together in the prep school house. So like sometimes I just feel like I couldn't do it anymore. Like I wanted to go home, but I also didn't want to make my parents worried. Like they're gonna be sad that they're not there for me. So like that moment, like I remember that was at one point that I was gonna call my dad and tell him like I want to go home. I can't do it anymore. All right, that's the moment when God like was just like, trust me, bro, you're gonna be okay. So like I talked with him that whole night. It was just hard. Like, I didn't sleep that night, I think, because I did kind of make up my mind to go home. Nobody know about this because that was just me personally. But then like when I wake up the other day, I just wake up so happy. So I was like, he just give me more strength, new strengths, and like I didn't think about that. Like after that, and I just went off.
So when exactly was that then? When was the point that you almost came to the conclusion that you were going to want to go home?
I think I had a terrible game. Like for me, I think I had like 15 points and 16 rebounds. That was like bad. Because I did never had games like that at Miami. So I was like, dang, like it was just like I miss home a lot. Like I had a terrible game. Like just all of those stuff stick together. I was like, nah, this is not for me. So then after that, I talked with God and everything was okay.
How big has it been now? I would kind of asked you this question earlier too, but now that you reflect on the whole story to this point, how big has it been to have God be a cornerstone piece of your life?
He's the centerpiece, man. He ain't no cornerstone. Yeah, he's being great, man.
Mm-hmm.
Just I say that I'm gonna say it again. Without him, I wouldn't be here. So like being a kid from Bluefields that could have been doing anything, could have been doing drugs, could have been in the hood doing what I don't have to do. Just like God put me in a good family, like with good parents. Like just because of him, I'm here where I'm at.
Absolutely, man. My final question for you: give Miami fans your three biggest goals that you have set for your Miami career.
Win a championship with the team, be a better player, be a man of the people, make the Miami community love me, and give back to the community that received me, like when I just get here.
Norchad, congratulations, man, on the commitment. I'm excited to see what God's got next for you, man. Enjoy the rest of the offseason, too. Keep being the light, and I appreciate taking time to come on today, man.
No problem, man. Thank you. Have a nice day, bro.
Of course, you're always welcome on, man. God bless you, man.